Good evening, everyone. My name's Debbie Singleton, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, Phoenix, Arizona. I hope everyone had a great day and great weekend. I had a wonderful weekend. I had card class on Saturday, and I had some wonderful ladies come with me. And we made some beautiful Valentine cards. It was wonderful. It was so much fun. And then I had the day off today from taking the kids to school. So that was a nice little break. Although it always seems like when I have a break from the kids, I certainly miss them. So I will take them to school tomorrow and then I pick them up. So I have a full day of taking them and picking them up. So I will get my fill of all of them tomorrow. So that'll be very nice. I was thinking, what card did I want to do today for my live? And I've been eyeing this suite that we have in the catalog. And it's a beautiful suite. And I know that we have that Valentine's coming up, but I just did Valentine cards. And so at the moment, I'm Valentine out. So I thought I'd take a break from Valentine cards. Good evening, Mom. So I thought I would take a break from Valentine cards, and I thought I would play with this suite that I've been wanting to play with. And it is called Nature Walk Suite. And it is a wonderful suite. I just kind of popped in just a little bit to play with it. Had a kind of an idea in my head. So I actually played with it just today because I was so busy this weekend. But I think it turned out pretty good. Just playing with it just for a little bit, but sometimes the ideas just kind of are there and put it all together, and sometimes it doesn't work out. But I think the card kind of worked out pretty good. So the suite comes with the stamp set and the dies. Now the stamp set says, "I like you lots, to a great guy, make me smile, and thank you." So it's geared mostly for masculine cards, but you don't have to. I mean, oh my goodness, I've seen some beautiful cards made more on the feminine side too, because they're just foliage. So you can use it for other things too. But the die set will cut out this big one, and it will cut out this one, and then it will cut out by itself. It will cut out this one, this, and this, as well as those two. And it will cut out this one, which is what I did, is I cut out this, I stamped this, and cut this one out. Now, I didn't use really much anything else. And then I did stamp "You Make Me Smile" because I thought that just sounded so much fun. I could have picked anything else from any one of the other stamp sets or even just this one, but I did pick "You Make Me Smile." I just thought that sounded so cute. The suite also comes with this. I haven't even opened yet. It's Secret Sea. It's really kind of pretty, actually. I should probably open it. But it's Secret Sea. So that Secret Sea is that really dark blue. That's really fun to play with. It also comes with these really fun, they're really heavy, but these really fun hexagon, I guess. They're called, yeah, faux bronze pentagons. I guess they're pentagons. I don't know my things. And that would be fun. I didn't use them, but I picked something else to use, but these are really fun, so I like those. It also comes with, of course, this 12 by 12 paper, and then it comes with a different kind of paper as well, 3 sheets of paper. And I don't know, I put it somewhere. I obviously put it away, but it's like a linen paper, and they're 12 by 12 sheets linen, but only 3 pieces of it. So I just put it away because I didn't look at it. But this paper is amazing. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so much fun to work with. You can make it with scenes. You can make it with all different kinds. You can make it your background. You can make it just little bits. Oh my goodness. This is one side, and then this is the other side. This is another piece. And then this is the other side. Again, all different kinds of scenes. This blue is beautiful. And then this is just another part of it. I like that these are going to be like background scenes to different things. And then this and another background. And I was going to use this scripty paper because I really like it, but I couldn't figure out how to fit it into my brain of what I was looking at, so I didn't. And then this is another piece of just background paper. So I used this paper, and when you cut it, you get all different kinds of paper, and I actually got mostly this bottom half. So I decided to use, for my color scheme, I decided to use Pretty Peacock. And then I wanted some more depth to my card, and so I embossed my piece here. We have a new embossing folder, and it's in the online exclusives. So it's called Lovely Stripes, and it's got stripes and dots, and I thought that was really very nice. So see, I cut out two of the different, I cut out this leaf and this leaf, and I cut them out in two different colors. And then this is that background paper. I think is so pretty. And then this is just the regular Pretty Peacock. And this was a, what do we call, stylish shape. And then I stamped on it. So these dots, I love these dots. These dots I have been using a lot of, and they are the Moody Palette Glossy Dots. And they come in Cloud Cover, Old Olive, Secret Sea, White, and I use the Secret Sea because I cut out in Secret Sea. So, and then on the inside, I use just another plain. Oh, good. So it really shows up on my camera. So yeah, this is really amazing, this embossing. And this is just basic beige. That's what I used for inside and the outside. So I did something different, and I stamped the envelope with just a stamp. Sorry, with this same stamp. And I just stamped the envelope instead of putting paper on there. So this is a really easy card, but I did this similar kind of card in my card class this weekend when we did Valentine's. And I had that in my head that I wanted to do that with this suite. And I'm like, oh, it really showed up. It doesn't really show the paper near as much because it's a different kind of paper, but it still does the same thing. So this is the card that we made. So see, here's our background and here's my layers. But I just added some other things to it differently, but it's similar to the layout that we did before. So again, you can take the layout and you can make different cards with it. So that's what I did, was I took the layout and I did it differently. Again, it makes the card look completely different, and you wouldn't have never known that layout. So I really like that. So it's super easy. Actually, I did everything because I was cutting out twice. And so normally I wait and I cut it all out on camera, but I was already cutting it and then deciding what I wanted to do. So I already had everything done. Now I did do a couple things different, and I will show you the tricks and stuff of those things. So on my card base, we typical. Well, thank you. So I'm going to have February's class on the 21st of February. So I'll send out a little thing. But if you're on here and you're not on my list to send out an invite, you can drop me a little note at dezignitwithdeb at gmail.com and let me know, and I can send you an invite. So it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So that's our typical card base. We can just fold this. So another thing that I decided I wanted to do with our embossing, I put it in my embossing folder and I just embossed it. I just kind of embossed it. No big deal. And then I got to thinking, so my card is actually going up and down, not this way. I mean, it does, but let me show you. So it's embossed going this way. Okay. So I was like, you know what? I want it to go up and down, not side to side. So I put it in my embossing folder. So this is what I mean. Normally, you take your embossing folder and you put your piece of paper in and you line it up this way. This is too big, but you line it up. There's the little Stampin' Up! And you line it up with the line. There's a little black line. You probably can't see, but there's a little black line. So you line it up, you stick it in there, and you run it through the machine with the folded side in first. Now that will come out so that all the lines are going this way. Like, that's normal. That's fine, and it looks okay too. I'm like, but I want my lines to go up and down. So in order for the lines to go up and down, you just put your card in this way. Close it. You are going to still put your folder in with the side, the folded side in first. That's so the machine will catch it and it won't break it. Put it in, roll it in, and it will come out like this, up and down. It's like, oh, that actually kind of looks pretty cool. Either way looks good. Either way looks fine. I was like, oh, I kind of like that up and down. And that just, I was like, oh, okay. So just a little tip. All right. So that's going to be on our outside of our card. Oh, I need my card. Basic. So we can glue that on because that's going to be just fine. That's going to be glued on. And yes. So one of the sides is raised up and you can see when you're looking at it, and the other side's like indented a little bit. So that's the side I like to put down. But again, it doesn't really matter because they're both, it's embossed, so it would look fine too. All right, so we're going to put this on. And for me, I open it up because it's easier. I don't have to deal with that closed flap. Try to get this on here as even as I can. Up and down, side to side. And then we're going to press because all of that hills and valleys basically. Okay. Now, I didn't stamp anything on the inside just because if I'm going to give this away, I'm not sure what I'm going to put on the inside, but you can certainly stamp on the inside. You can also put a little, you can stamp this partial flower on the inside. That's not really a flower, sorry, greenery. And then stamp your saying. But because I'm not sure who I'm giving it to, I don't want to stamp anything on the inside yet. I'll probably do that once I decide who I want to give this to. And then I'll pick a saying and then I'll stamp that on the inside. So for now, I don't know. So I'm going to leave it blank. Usually I like to stamp before I place it down in case I make a boo-boo. But if I make a boo-boo, I'll just fix it. Sometimes I'll just put another piece of paper down. It's only paper. All right. All right. So, so I glued these two pieces. So that's 5 1/4 by 4. Each of these, pardon me, This piece, I used the same color, which is, what color did I use? Pretty Peacock. This is Pretty Peacock as well. And this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then this DSP. See, now this looks a little bit different than my piece because as you go down that paper, it changes colors, but it's so pretty. It still will work. This piece is 3 by 4. And I glued these two together and then I popped them up onto the card. So let's glue that on. So pretty on there. I could have picked another color inside of this. It's not straight at all from there. Usually I'm fine with that. They're on the package of the DSP. Oh my goodness, this is gonna make me crazy. I didn't get that any straighter the second time. Okay, that's what it's gonna be. So on the back of the designer series paper, what's so nice is it tells us what papers or what colors: balmy blue, blueberry bushel, cloud cover, crumb cake, garden green, lost lagoon. So that's actually what I stamped, and paper I used for this one was lost lagoon. It's barely in here, but it really, this one is even more prevalent that lost lagoon is in there. Mossy Meadow, 980, Old Olive, Pecan Pie, Pretty Peacock, and Secret Sea. So this, I pulled Secret Sea. It's in there. So I was like, oh my goodness. So also, let's put this on. I used dimensionals to put this on. And I didn't really go too crazy with the dimensionals. Because if you're going to mail it, you don't want it to be too tall. I just really did 4. And 4 will get us enough to pop it up and make it really pretty. All right. Kind of just center that on there. And I especially am going to center this one so that my leaves will fit on there. So, right. So before I put my leaves on or do anything with my leaves, I'm going to stamp on this. This circle is from the, what is this from? Stylish Shapes. Now I have a trick. I am not going to just leave that. This paper is also the same as this, so it's basic beige. And so I'm going to take my Pretty Peacock and I'm going to give it some dimension. And so I have one of our sponges, and it comes in a round sponge, and I cut them in 4s, so I get 4 pieces of it. And then I just take a little scrap of the Pretty Peacock, and then I also write Pretty Peacock because I forget what color these are. And then I just staple it to the end, and then this end I can use. And I'm going to tap in here. And it doesn't look like I have much on here, and I don't really, but it will be plenty, as you will see. And I'm going to brush the corners, but I'm going to go even further in because I want a little bit more on this. But this is really nice when you want to do just the edges. You want to give just the edges of a piece of paper some color. But I want a little bit more color inside as well. See, now it's already getting color. So even just that little bit that I have on here is giving me quite the color. And the sponges are good for this. The daubers don't do quite as much. on the edges like this does. The daubers are good for if you're going to use if you have a stencil, the daubers are really good for that. I find that the sponge does so much better when you want to do the edges and you want to do this kind of stuff. So now I have it's not quite so stark, even though it's not white, but it gives it a little bit more character and it has a little bit more color to this. So I thought that came to mind as well. So I really like that. So now I'm going to take, I already have this on a block. It says, "You make me smile." And I'm going to stamp that in Pretty Peacock. And for some reason, it doesn't look like it's straight on there, but I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but and I didn't seem like it got enough ink on there, but that looks all right. It looks a little rustic. The card's a little rustic, so that's okay. All right. So now I'm going to set up where I want this to go. But I realized that that was actually way too big. So I cut this branch off. Figured this branch, I didn't need this branch. So I literally cut this branch off. You can't even tell when I put this circle on anyways, but see, this will be so much better. So now this will look better. Same with this one. This was way too much and I couldn't get it to lay the way I wanted it to lay. Now it might lay. See, it lays off and you can't have anything extend off or it won't go in. Okay, the stamp looks good. And it looks nice. I mean, it looks a little light. I'd like it to have been a little bit darker, but it's fine. So I also cut this off. But did I cut the whole thing? I think I did. I think I cut. Did I cut the whole thing and just put that up there? I must have, because I had, yeah. I think I cut the whole thing off. I cut this whole piece off. And I used this still, but I put this up here like so. And then I put this on, and then I put this other piece. So we're going to glue this piece. And I generously use the glue. You don't need a whole lot. I just put a little bit. I just don't want the branches sticking up. So that looks about right. I think I want it, hopefully. Right, and then I took this one, and it has those little holes in it. See how those little, so I don't really want to put globs of glue on that. So really carefully, I just kind of glued like this long stem. And I put just a little bit of glue. And it will hold in place, I promise you. And I just kind of went over that. All right. Then I put dimensionals on this, but I really just guesstimated, but I just kind of wanted some dimensionals so that it would hold this in place as well. So it's kind of guesstimated where I wanted them. then I set this down where I kind of wanted it, so it's not hanging off. And then I set this down. And then voila, it's going to hold that in place. I could have glued it, but it just seemed like that also worked. Now, I did tie a bow out of our linen thread just to give it some more rusticness, I guess. Well, I don't know if that's really a word, but and I need to get with Sarah. She ties the bows a new way, and I have not learned how she does it. But for now, this is the way I do it. She has a new way to tie them, and they're actually a better way. She's tried to show me, and I just have not been able to grasp how she does it. So, this linen thread is really hard to tie because it's on this spool, and so it's all curlicued. Someone had a way to uncurlicue it. People come up with all kinds of fun stuff. It's kind of its charm is that it's curlicued, but it does make it a little bit challenging. There we go. All right. Just have to play and work and play and work and play and work. Okay. There we go. All right, now I'm going to use a glue dot. My glue dot before did not. So I took the glue dot off of the little thing, and I kind of made it into a little ball so that it can sit on the knot better. And the other one didn't want to work as nice. So I just want to set it up here. So it'll sit up here nicely. And then I'll clip the ends better. All right. And I'll get this so it's going to sit where I want it to sit. There we go. And I'm going to clip this just a little bit more. And this one a little bit more. There we go. So, yeah, this is more like, it's more rustic, and so this card is so rustic. The ribbon is this color, but I felt like ribbon is more, can be masculine, but I felt like it didn't fit with it. So I felt like this fit much better with it. I'm glad that you agree. And then I really liked these dots. I just really like these dots. And I still feel like the dots still go with it. I just think it actually adds to it. So I really liked the dots. So put in a dot. Sometimes they want to come off of there and sometimes they do not. There we go. And I think I'm going to put it on there and not up there. All right, let's. Okay, or not. Come on. There we go. And this one. All right, now we need to do the envelope. Look at that. There we go. I just think this looks. All right. That's our card part. I think that turned out really nice. I think that turned out nicely. All right, so let's get a scrap piece of paper and then get out our pretty peacock. This has to be put on a larger. I somehow did not get it. I try to do mine. What is up with it? My ink pad is like got chunks coming out of it. That is weird. All right. I'm going to have to get a new ink pad because that is really weird. Just like a chunk came out. It's really bizarre. I've never seen that happen before. All right, let's see if this is going to work. All right. All right, that looks really nice. That did good. Much better than mine. I'm going to have to get a new ink pad. That's really good. Okay, so there is that card. And that's the one that's going up and down. And then this one is going side to side, which you probably can't tell. But either way, looks good. But yeah, that should be darker. But so, it just came to me after I had ran it through the cut and emboss machine. I'm like, oh, maybe I should go up and down with it instead of side to side. You put it in the folder and you run it a little bit differently, so you're not sure. And then after it runs through, you're like, oh, wait a minute, I can run it a different way. So up and down does stand out better. It flows better. In my head, it flows better than it does this way. So, you know what I mean? I have to have everything flow the right way. So it flows with the card better. So, it's just better. So anyway, so yeah, that was my idea, and I think it turned out really good. I was surprised I just like whipped that up, but I knew if I had looked at the card that we did and I had the idea in my head, I just had to put it all together. And so it's kind of nice to have that template basically, and then just work with the template. So that was really fun to do that. All right. Well, you guys have a nice evening. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'm here to help you. And otherwise, we will see you next Monday night. Have a great rest of your evening and a rest of the week. Great rest of your week. But that was hard to get all out at the same time. All right. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.